As most of you probably know, we recently did a little book tour, and part of which was heading out to StoryCon, a large conference. And so today we are going to talk about 5 lessons learned, little pointers we have, little takeaways we have from attending this conference. So this is Coffee with the Authors. I'm Mark Parsons. This is Wendelin Van Draanen. We are 2 authors that are here to help you kind of decode the craft and business of writing fiction.
So the number one lesson learned from attending this conference is that tech is everything.
Oh, yeah.
You really need to attend to the tech first.
If there's a problem, it is almost always going to be technology related, much more so than program related.
Even if the conference or the venue tells you that they'll have a computer there for you, it may not run your slides. There might be all sorts of technical difficulties with it. Come prepared. And that means, yes, bring your presentation on a thumb drive, but also bring your laptop, because you know it runs on your laptop. And if you have bring a HDMI cable and bring an adapter, then you will be able to cobble together something that will eventually work. And it may take you the full 15 minutes that you have before the session to get it going, but that is the thing that you need to jump into and figure out first.
We did, I think, 6 presentations at 6 different venues outside the conference during this whole trip.
Yeah.
And at 4 of those 6, we had to do something. I had to grab an HDMI cable or an adapter, or she had to do something, and we had to kind of reprogram their system at the school or wherever we were, because there's almost always a technical issue, and it's a mistake to think everything's going to go smoothly.
Right. And even if they promise you that it'll be all set up, don't believe it.
No.
Don't believe it. It's so stressful. So just come prepared. The thing about conferences is that lots of times while you're preparing for the go time at your session, people will try to come up and talk to you. They have a question for you. They want to talk to you about something else. You have to find a way to very politely tell them that you have to get your tech going first. And after that, you'd be happy to talk to them. And that may be like 30 seconds from right then, or it may be like after the session, because it took that long to get the tech going.
Yep. Here's takeaway number 2. Is, if possible, find out ahead of time the anticipated turnout at your session, so you can have all your handouts and your bookmarks and your business cards and your flyers and all those good little things, have them all counted out into certain groups and have them ready to go. And honestly, sometimes if I'm late because there's a technology issue or something, and I have 100 handouts, I will go down to each row of 10 and give each person 10 and say, please take one and pass it on, just like they're like kids in high school, and they will do that for you. And then that way you can actually get 100 pieces of information passed out in about 2 minutes before you have to start your presentation.
So if the tech isn't an issue and you've been able to like get it all going, you're all ready to go, and then people start filing in, I find it's really nice to greet people at the door. And if you have a handout for them, give it to them at the door, and then they get a little personal exchange with you, which I really like, and they do too. Lesson 3 was scope out the room early, find out where it is. You know what to expect. You know where you're going to be presenting from. You know if you have access to your laptop or not, or if it's a remote kind of click through. If you find out all these things, especially should you ever give a presentation at the Salt Palace in Utah, where everything is a maze, find your room first, and then you'll know how to get back to it.
Here's takeaway number 4. As some of you know, we made large posters to take with us, kind of freestanding posters on poster board with little triangle backing boards on the bottom of them, and to bring to this. And we used them, but we were pretty much the only authors there, I think, who had something this big. These guys were very large. And we hauled them around everywhere. And we
maze.
We hauled them around the maze, and we put them up outside our room that we're having this presentation in. And sometimes we put them up on stage, kind of next to us, right in front of the podium, so people knew who they were talking to, or they knew what the book under discussion was. And that's all fine, but probably not worth it, because everybody knows who you are by then. You're all over the program. Those things are actually more useful for events where you are the speaker. In other words, a school, a library, something like that,
bookstore event.
Yeah, bookstore event where you are talking with yourself or another author, and that's it. And that way you can put that outside the bookstore, and people walking by can go, oh, there's this thing going on, rather than you're one of 50 authors and
cycling through a classroom of some sort and then running off to the next one with your poster.
Right. So I would actually say next time we'd probably leave the big ones at home.
And finally, there's the hotel location. And normally I try to be very conscientious of my publishers, like the expense, like
Right.
what the expense is for my publisher or what the expense is going to be for me, depending on the situation. And so I usually look for a fairly good hotel that's fairly near the conference center. I think it is totally worth it to spend the extra money to be at the conference hotel, the one that is
headquarters,
so close that you can just walk over. And it's going to cost you a little bit more, but I think it is well worth the extra money, just the access to maybe something you forgot, or not having to get an Uber, or not having your hair blow all over in the cold Utah wind. So there are all sorts sorry, that's vanity, but it's real. So there are all sorts of reasons not to spend the extra money, but I think that when you kind of weigh it all out, that really is worth it, if it's $40 more to spend that money
Absolutely.
at the conference hotel.
Yeah, there were times when we would give a class and then we'd be like, oh, we've got 2 hours till the next class. So we could literally walk back to the hotel room in 5 minutes because it's connected, and then go up and regroup or change clothes or get a little bite to eat in the room.
Or comb your hair.
Yeah, or just kind of hang out.
Those are our 5 quick takeaways, little lessons learned from having attended StoryCon. We hope you think they're useful and that you'll come back and see us for the next episode. We're going to talk about things not to do, at a conference. So,
Dun, dun, dun.
Meanwhile, thanks for stopping in. Drop us some comments if you'd like, and we'll see you next time. And remember, dream big, work hard, don't give up.
Keep writing. Another lesson is. Wait.
I wasn't ready.
I wasn't either. Let me get my eyelashes just perfect.
Here, let me brush them up for you.
Thank you.
Okay.